Deep in the heart of the Appalachian Mountains, shrouded in mist and legend, lay Hollow Creek, a town forgotten by time. The silence there was heavy. It whispered of secrets best left undisturbed. For generations, stories had been passed down, tales of the old Blackwood Mansion, a grand, imposing structure perched precariously on the edge of town, overlooking the valley below like a watchful gargoyle. Now just a decaying shell, its windows like vacant eyes staring out blindly. It was a place most locals avoided, but not everyone shied away from the unknown. Drawn by the allure of the forbidden, a group of friends decided on a weekend getaway. Their laughter echoed through the desolate streets, a jarring counterpoint to the town's usual unsettling silence. They sought thrills, they would find horror. The old mansion loomed large as they approached. Its silhouette was stark against the dying light. A shiver ran down Mark's spine, a primal instinct warning him away.
"Maybe this wasn't such a good idea," he muttered, his voice barely audible above the wind whistling through the trees.
"Scared, Mark," taunted Emily, her eyes sparkling with mischief. She was always the daring one. "Don't be such a chicken." "Yeah, come on, man," added Chris, slinging a reassuring arm around Mark's shoulder. The heavy oak door creaked open with a groan as if disturbed from a long slumber. Dust motes danced in the faint rays of sunlight that pierced the gloom. They stepped inside. The mansion's interior was a labyrinth of shadows and dust. Cobwebs draped everything like macabre decorations. The remnants of grandeur were still visible, a sweeping staircase, a once magnificent chandelier now missing half its crystals, a grand fireplace cold and empty. They explored cautiously, their whispers the only sound in the oppressive silence. Each room seemed to hold its breath, guarding secrets long forgotten. In the parlor, they found a dusty gramophone and a scattering of old records.
"This place is incredible," whispered Jessica, her eyes wide with awe. "I can't believe people actually lived here."
As they ventured deeper into the mansion, a sense of unease settled over them. The air grew colder, the shadows deeper. They began to hear things. Soft footsteps trailing behind them, whispers that seemed to emanate from the walls themselves. Mark swore he saw a flicker of movement at the edge of his vision, a fleeting glimpse of a shadowy figure disappearing around a corner. The Blackwood family, once prominent figures in Hollow Creek's history, had vanished without a trace. One day they were there, the next gone. Their disappearance remained an unsolved mystery, a chilling tale whispered in hushed tones. As the friends delved deeper into the mansion, they uncovered fragments of the Blackwood family's past. Town historian, a faded family portrait in the study, the patriarch staring sternly ahead, his wife and children with strangely vacant eyes, a child's doll lying abandoned on the floor of a dusty nursery, its porcelain face cracked and unsettling. Then in the master bedroom they found a hidden compartment in the wall. Inside, a leather-bound journal. Its pages were filled with frantic scribblings, the last testament of Eleanor Blackwood, the family matriarch. Nightfall descended, cloaking the mansion in an impenetrable darkness. Fear, once a playful companion, now gripped them with icy fingers. The ghostly occurrences escalated, doors slammed shut on their own, their echoing booms like gunshots in the silent house. Disembodied laughter echoed through the halls. They were trapped. Malevolent spirit. Mark found himself separated from the others, lost in a maze of darkened corridors. A cold hand brushed his cheek, sending a surge of terror through him. He spun around, his heart pounding in his chest, but there was nothing there. He heard his friends' terrified screams in the distance. He ran towards the sound, his blood turning to ice as he stumbled upon a scene that would forever be seared into his memory. His friends were huddled together in the grand ballroom, their faces pale with terror. The malevolent entity turned towards Mark, its eyes burning with ancient rage. He was paralyzed with fear, unable to move, unable to scream. This was it. This was how his story ended. But then a surge of protectiveness for his friends washed over him, banishing the fear. Malevolent spirit, he lunged forward, grabbing an old silver candlestick from a nearby table, its weight surprisingly reassuring in his hand. He raised it high, a beacon of defiance against the darkness. "Leave them alone!" he roared, his voice echoing through the room. The entity hesitated, its gaze flickering between Mark and the candlestick. It was a flicker of vulnerability, a weakness, and in that moment Mark understood these were not all-powerful beings of pure evil. They were trapped souls tethered to the mansion by their pain and their rage. He spoke to them, his voice trembling but firm.
Subscribe my channel. 99.7% not subscribe. Please subscribe my channel.